NewsX and I'm Shivani Singh. We're tracking updates from the AI Impact Summit 2026 and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with global leaders including French President Emmanuel Macron, Estonian President Alar, Karis and other world leaders also visited the expo at the AI Impact Summit, which is the exhibition segment of the summit held alongside the main event at Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi. Joining us on the broadcast to discuss this further is Ritesh Ganatra, who is the co-founder and CTO of Ample AI, Divya Balaji Kamekar, who is the CEO and co-founder of Pinky Promise. I thank you both for joining us on the broadcast to discuss this historic summit that India is hosting. Let's first start with Mr. Rideshwar on what are his first observations regarding this AI Impact Summit. The Prime Minister has unveiled a vision, sir, which talks about Manav, obviously bringing in a more compassionate, side to the whole artificial intelligence segment. How are you looking at these developments?
Thanks, Shivani, for having me. And I think it's very exciting times. Never seen, this kind of excitement in the industry with all the enterprises that I'm working with. And this AI summit, taking it to the next level. So everyone knows about AI. People, one of the questions that, 2 years back that I was facing now, how will it replace me or will I be replaced? So a lot of these kind of questions were coming in, and since last 6 months, those were going, just kind of faded. But since everyone knows about this question, everyone raced into this big event, getting a lot of investments in India, focusing on the right place, having data centers, a lot of push for the GPUs, which is must required. And this really pushes India much ahead, a lot of buzz. And that is really required for all the startups to, so let's say if someone wants to do a startup today, they would really need that kind of GPU powers to, cater to maybe B2B or a B2C audiences both. So I see it as, at least getting us ahead by 1 or 2 years. If this was not there, then maybe it would be the pace that which the adoptions is going to happen will be much faster.
Absolutely, and if I can rope in Divya as well into this discussion. Divya, what are your observations regarding the AI Impact Summit? We are looking at Prime Minister Narendra Modi's address at the summit. He's spoken about Manav, he's spoken about national sovereignty, and he's spoken about data being owned by the person who creates it.
Yeah, I think this is a very important time for India. We're emerging to lead a conversation that is so much needed in the rapidly developing world of AI. What really stood out to me has been the larger discourse on safety, ethical AI, and responsibility that our Prime Minister has introduced into this particular forum, and that has been echoed by a lot of the top heads of technology companies. So, for example, Prime Minister Modi said garbage in, garbage out when he talked about data sovereignty. He also talked about the fact that we don't want black boxes anymore, which is very traditional in LLMs, right? When you think about how LLMs work, you think about it as a black box. He says we want a glass box in terms of safety and transparency. As a healthcare company that actually works to empower women to use AI to access really good healthcare, for me, this is the most important thing, because data sovereignty and also ensuring that there are ethical guardrails around the usage of AI, so that, like Sam Altman said, biomodels can actually help create pathogens. So we really need to build that right societal resilience. And so I think for me, like, while we push forward so much, introduce 24,000 more GPUs into India, pour in a lot of money into the development of AI, we're also talking about ethical guardrails, and we're making sure that the bottom of the pyramid is not divided due to technology, but it is completely empowered due to technology. And for me, that's been the most important highlight of this particular summit. And a country like India, the fact that we are sort of leading this discourse and we're leading this conversation is hugely empowering. It's not coming from a first world country, it's coming from India. And we are leading that discourse, and all the other presidents are sitting in India and committing to the ethical and fair use of AI, which is, I think, the most important impact that the summit can actually create at a global level.
Absolutely, Ms. Divya. In fact, Mr. Ritesh, when we are talking about ethical AI, the Prime Minister also spoke about how it is important that AI is not directionless. And for that, for AI, because directionless AI can lead to massive disruption. And hence, he's talked about democratization in this sector as well. How important do you think is that?
So I think the way AI wave started, like with the launch of ChatGPT, right? It was initially a directionless start, right? Everyone was not sure anyone can go and do anything, right? So it was just used for fun. Imagine, we had a scenario where Sam Altman tweeted that our GPUs are melting just because everyone is creating images just for fun, right? People don't know how to use it. It was just like a toy, used like a toy. But now people have realized the importance of using it, how they are using it, and upskilling with the AI is really important for everyone. Like if I am doing my job today, how I can do it better, what tools I can use, but very importantly, whether I am confident enough to use those tools. Are those tools provided to me by my company? Is it vetted by the data security team in the company, or if I'm using it for my personal use, do I own the data, right? So all those questions are still, so everyone now, maybe will be, it's kind of a fad and people just want to use it, but highlighting all these things on the global platform. So I was talking to my dad yesterday and he knew about AI since being my dad, but it was like my friends were talking to me about the summit and they were talking about, what kind of things that we should be careful about. But they were looking forward to try, even knowing, these are the 3 or 4 things that we should not put, like I should not put my any personal images there, or if I'm putting something, I need to be aware about what I'm putting and how this will be used. So I think adding a direction and the way we are talking about security and also everyone knowing, in the different age groups is, I think, a really big shift for the country.
Absolutely. In fact, accountable governance is what the Prime Minister has also spoken about, ethical oversight. Ms. Divya, do you believe that that is as well necessary? Because if it runs free, there might obviously be, we have seen problems with the deep fakes, with, AI generated videos that we keep, encountering on social media. So our Prime Minister has spoken about an ethical governance that can actually govern. Do you believe that laws are necessary to govern this sector, or should it, grow first and then we should think about the laws?
So that's actually a really good chicken and egg sort of question that you're posing to me, Shivani. The truth is that when it comes to technology and IT infrastructure, our laws have always played a catch-up game with the reality that has happened. So even before the age of AI, when social media really took a complete explosion, right? There was a lot of catch-up that our enforcement had to play, policies had to play, governance had to play, and I think that that was disruptive because it resulted in a lot of harm. The kind of approach the Prime Minister advocates is essential. I think we need to balance out governance when it comes to artificial intelligence along with innovation, because that freedom to innovate and build is also extremely important. But at the same time, there has to be guardrails around it. So, like you mentioned, right? So, deep fakes, children being able to use AI, the data of children being used to train models, the data of other sensitive populations, personally identifiable information, and also misinformation that is spread, right? So there's a lot of issue with respect to fake news, fake health information, fake diagnoses, all sorts of things, which unfortunately, in fact, impact the people who are less technologically savvy, who are older, more than us, because we know what to watch out for. So transparency, calling out what data is collected for what, when are you being trained, when is the model being trained on the data that you're providing it, mechanisms for people using AI to actually turn off the feature of their data not being used to train models, as well as mechanisms by which there is appropriate legal enforcement, regulatory oversight is important, while balancing the need to move very quickly and not create too much bureaucracy around the development of AI.
Absolutely. In fact, Mr. Ridesh, there have been certain announcements as well that have been made during the summit. Obviously, a lot of these announcements come from Google, from Microsoft, and they are seeking to invest in the global south. Google wants to build this pipeline of that helps flow AI data and everything into the global south. We are talking about investment from Microsoft for startups as well. How important is that for a country like India? We are trying to lead the AI charge here, and we are also trying to lead the global south in this sector.
So I think I'm very much. I was very excited when Sundar Pichai announced the big investment that they are, getting into the south of India. I think Vizag is the place where they are investing. So it's near to sea and beautiful town. And how it excites me is now India being a startup itself, catering to enterprises, clients in India and outside India. So it's really exciting. Indian startup company is delivering data to, or delivering its software as services developed here, trained here, which can be now exported to the world, right? So it's kind of as an export that can really boost up the Indian economy. So I see it as a very good opportunities for a lot of companies having good data centers, global connectivity, improved global connectivity to eventually help us export more as a output. So I think it's very exciting, and everyone it's a great opportunity.